hold and send 2 hours for keys. It's the other way around. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did the go live. It says it's starting.
It says it's starting.
The Eddie is northwest and Hydro Plus, and then you get to keep going for the distance.
I don't know why with the other systems we've had, you hit start and it just starts. With this, it takes forever to start. And
Well, can I tell you from experience, I watch a lot of the Sunday services online, and I never have any problem with videos or sound or anything.
Awesome.
It's like
That's good
it
to know.
works.
the video's been good. The sound has been, it's just not real. It's kind of, it was kind of tinny sounding, so we
Echoey.
tried to get echoey.
And there's some people that all I have is a phone and they can't get it as well. So
Still says live video is starting. Oh,
we're
so it is
starting.
going?
It's
Okay.
just not showing us.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Jeez.
New system. Here we are.
Okay.
Still
well,
no video.
This is all going to be a test too, because I mean we have got the microphone 4 feet from us.
So if you can hear us well, let us know. If not, text a.
I'm not hearing you pretty well.
That's good. Thanks. Because that's this one.
Yeah.
This one is for just online. So people online, if you are having trouble hearing us, you need to type something in, and Carol is monitoring. She can inform us. We can move that a little closer.
Oh, selected
But we're
devices.
limited by cord. It was like we didn't know what, no, whatever.
Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess we'll just get going here.
Get going.
We do have the November 21st meeting for the Metaphysics 2021 has been postponed until January 16th.
So then it'd be Metaphysics 2022.
It will. It will. So that class has been postponed. So, alrighty. And where is George and John?
I don't know.
Our patron saints,
I don't know.
George Carlin and John Lennon. And John said, we've got this gift of love, but love is like a precious plant. You can't just accept it and leave it in the cupboard, or just think it's going to get by all by itself. You've got to keep watering it. You've really got to look after it and nurture it. So,
Amen to that.
yes. And George, the IQ and the life expectancy of the average American recently passed each other in opposite directions.
Hey, honey, would you scroll down that left side and see if there was another video on this one?
You said left side.
I did it? Yeah. The other left.
Oh,
There
well, look
we
at
go.
that.
There.
Look at that. I'll be darned. There. Okay. Gosh.
You
I don't
gotta
remember.
laugh. If you
I don't remember if I
laugh,
did this last week or not. Somebody just tell me. The song "Happy Birthday to You" was originally written by sisters. Blank stares, so we didn't do it. Okay. Mildred and Patty Hill as "Good Morning to You." The words were changed when it was published in 1935. Annual royalties for the song still average over $2 million.
Wow. Who gets the money?
Heirs.
Probably the family.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never paid a dime for singing Happy Birthday. Have you paid? Have you paid for singing Happy Birthday?
Yeah, royalties are coming from somewhere. So. All right, this is a nice little book. If you share a good idea long enough, it will eventually fall on good people.
Oh, I like that.
Leadership is the challenge to be something more than average. And leaders, whether in the family, in business, in government, or in education, must not allow themselves to mistake intentions for accomplishments. No, I like it. I like it. A book is a success when people who haven't read it pretend they have. It is easier to understand a nation by listening
That's a
to
good
its
book.
music. Yeah, by listening to its music than by learning its language. Isn't that interesting? I like that. Yeah. And we end today's with this from Henry David Thoreau. How vain is it to sit down to write when you have not stood up to live?
Oh, ouch.
I like it.
I do
I
too.
like it a lot.
For all the writers in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Read first,
Yep,
write later.
yep. They who love are but one step from heaven.
Oh, I like that. That's sweet.
One crow does not make a winter.
One crow?
One crow. What's this? This winter? This is not a winter. This is not a fall. This is a beautiful time of year for us, is it not? Oh my goodness! It's supposed to be almost 70 degrees today.
Yeah.
Conscience
Much needed rain.
and much needed rain. Yeah. Conscience doth make cowards of us all. William Shakespeare.
I don't know about that.
And t-shirts and sweatshirts. I forgot that.
I don't know about those guys either.
Okay. This one would have been for Lori and Daryl since they're teachers. But it says, yes, I know they pick on you at school and call you names, but you still have to go. You're the teacher. Don't worry, I can fix it.
You need that. You need that
No,
t-shirt.
yeah.
Here, fix it.
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. And getting older is just one body part after another saying, aha, you think this is bad, watch this.
I did some sewing last night, some sewing yesterday. My hands are just achy. It's really funny.
Cool. See?
You want
Oops.
an
Too much
avalanche.
stuff here now. You see, that's what I had hoped this whole time, is that we could actually see us in here and see everything was going on.
Yeah.
So, cool. And it's working. All right.
One more thing.
Am I
Do you
done?
want- I don't know. If you want to be.
Okay, I do.
Do you want to be done?
I'm done.
Are you done or are you finished?
This morning, my goodness. But so far, knock on wood, it's
We're
working.
good.
Everything's working.
Do you need a farewell song or something?
I don't think so.
Just got coffee and
Something with Roy Rogers.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Let's start with a prayer. Is there a prayer for whatever this is? Yeah, okay. So the prayer I chose this morning is for a clearer connection. So internet-wise and spiritually, let's have a prayer for clearer connection. Join me in prayer, would you please? Loving Spirit of light, draw near to me. Bring understanding to my mind, wisdom to my heart, and sensitivity to my soul. Help me to perceive our connection. Help me to recognize the signs you bring. Help me to be mindful of you. Clear the rubble of doubt and fear from my awareness. Grant me a clearer, deeper connection with you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen. So I was chatting with someone the other day about church stuff and mentioned to them that the church is about joy, enlightenment, and spiritual sanctuary. And even though they've been in attendance for quite some time, they didn't know that. It's on a sign out front, and it's on your calendar. But what does that mean? What does that mean really? Joy, enlightenment, and spiritual sanctuary. When Phil and I started the church 24 years ago, we wanted it to be different. And not that we wanted to do that to be rebellious or hateful, but we knew what we needed. And we knew what would serve our soul. And we thought, why does church have to be so boring and dull? I mean, maybe you go to church, or regular church, and it's not boring and dull for you. But, it had that flavor for us of, here it is, and this is how it's always going to be. And one thing about the Divine Fellowship, it's different. But the joy, let's look at that joy a little bit. Because if it ain't fun, don't do it. It's not, why should we have dreariness in our soul? Especially at church. I remember when I was a kid, we would go to church camp. Anybody ever go to church camp?
Yep.
And going to church camp, it was fun. You got to sing fun songs, and you got to do fun stuff. And it's like, why can't church be like church camp? Well, it could. So I'm going to share with you Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy. It's the second one. Love is first, joy is second. Then peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. But joy is high priority here. That's why Phil tells jokes, is because it's really hard to stay stuck in fear and anguish and suffering and laugh. Can't do the mutually exclusive. So if we can shift into that joyfulness, then that opens our awareness and that helps us let go of the things we're struggling with. Does it not? That's what it's about, love and joy. And I read this a couple of Sundays ago. Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. Consider it all joy. How many of us are going through a difficult time? Like all of us? Isn't this COVID stuff just difficult stuff? Just putting a stupid mask on to go everywhere is difficult stuff. Or, just being careful, being cautious, being aware of all of that, being concerned. Consider it joy. And how do we do that? By knowing that there's a beautiful result at the end of it. So how many people here and online have had a best worst thing that ever happened to them? And here's this horrible thing that's happened to you, and when you're going through it, it's just terrible. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, look at all the blessings that came of that. You ever experienced that? Mm-hmm. But if we're going through something and we consider it joy because we know that it's all going to work out to our benefit, then that takes us up out of that and uplifts us and puts us in a higher spiritual vibration, which grants us love and joy, peace, patience and kindness, all those other things. Those spiritual fruits are ours to have when we shift our thinking, shift our awareness. So that was one of the first things that we came up with was, what do we want to do? And the first thing was joy. Bring joy into the world. This is a suffering, hurting world. And we are suffering and hurting. But it doesn't define who we are. I think Phil and I have the funniest relationship in the world because we can look at something that other people would be really traumatized by and laugh. We keep coming back to the epic blueberry spill. Phil, before he retired, Phil was going to work and he had his dress clothes on and he was getting ready to have breakfast, and then he would run out the door, brush his teeth, run out the door. And so he always puts blueberries on his cold cereal. And we didn't have any fresh ones, so he had frozen ones that he thawed in a little jar. And he was bringing the jar from the microwave to his cereal bowl and ticked the edge on the counter, and they went everywhere. I mean, everywhere. All over the counter, all over the floor, all over his pants. And it was like this epic spill. And when I walked into the room, he was like, oh my gosh, it's a horrible spill. And normal person would go, how dare you spill, or whatever, get upset. I thought it was the funniest dang thing ever. You could see where this blueberry that had been thawed had rolled across the counter and rolled across the floor. And then there's spills all over his pants. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So I said, honey, you go change clothes and I'll clean it up. It's okay. So, because it was like, oh, I'm going to be late. Just go take care of yourself. But we still laugh about the epic spill. It could have been an irritation. It could have been a struggle. It could have been something we both got mad about. Well, let's face it, that's pretty much our first response to anything. But if we can give ourselves a split second before we move into that anger, there's joy. Because I remember looking at that spill, and I had a choice. I was a point of choice. I could go, oh my God, or I could laugh. And I chose laughter. I hope you choose laughter. I hope you choose joy. And we can choose joy about all kinds of things. And even when it's the stupid COVID stuff, you know, we can laugh about how you can't wear lipstick and put on a mask. I learned that the hard way. There's something funny about all of it. You know, really, if we look at life, there's joy in it. There's joy in it. And that's one of the major precepts for the Divine Fellowship is joy. Let's have some joy in our life, right? Enlightenment. I want to share Proverbs 4:18. Proverbs 4:18. I love this passage. Just love this one. Of course, there's a lot that I love. People laugh at me because Cheryl's in the back laughing. Oh, they're all your favorite. But listen to this one. But the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. That's enlightenment. We don't know what the heck we're doing. Don't know what the heck we're doing with the computer stuff this morning. But, you know, we just take the next step. And hopefully find joy along the way. And things get brighter. Things will awaken within us to bring us more light, to bring more light into a situation. And the day gets brighter as we go along. Our lives get brighter as we go along. Don't you love that? Psalms 97:11. If my fingers will work. Ouch. This one is interesting. Light is sown like seed for the righteous. Light is sown like seed for the righteous, and gladness for the upright heart. How fun is that? So in other words, light, this divine enlightenment, is like seeds. And what do you do when you're seeding something? You just, like seeding a lawn, you just throw it out there. It's being thrown to us at all times. And righteous isn't meaning perfect. I used to think that's what that meant. That doesn't mean perfect. It means right wiseness. The people who are doing the best they can. As best they can. And you know, I might be able to do it better tomorrow because the day will be brighter tomorrow. I'll see more clearly tomorrow. I'll be able to travel better tomorrow. But I'm doing the best I can today. And in that state of mind, I can receive the seeds of light and gladness. Doesn't that make sense to you? I love it. For the upright in heart. Not perfect, the upright in heart when we're just doing the best we can. And spiritual sanctuary. What's spiritual sanctuary? Okay, this one was a little challenging for me to find scriptures for this one. But let me give you the concept first. Spiritual sanctuary, to Phil and I, means you walk through that door and no one is going to judge you. I'm not your mother. I'm not going to tell you what clothes you're wearing is inappropriate. I'm not going to tell you whether to wear a mask or not. I'm going to hope you do. I am not going to tell you whether you need to do this or you need to do that or you need to think this or you need to think that. I have to tell you Lori Miller's story. I texted her and she doesn't come because of COVID stuff. But anyway, I asked permission to tell you her story. She saw us at our expo, and she came to church, sat just like this, week after week after week. And she said, I was waiting for you people to tell me what I had to believe and see if I could stay here or not. And she said, after about the 4th week, they're not going to tell me what to believe. Here's what she said, her quote, "I'm still waiting for the divine fellowship to tell me what I should believe." Not going to happen. She said, "Divine fellowship saved me and put me on a healing path." That's what acceptance will do. All our responsibility is to love. Let God sort the rest of that crap out, right? Here it is. First John, verse 7, chapter 4, verse 7. "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God." That's the main thing. Love one another. I don't have to like you personally, but I will love you. I don't have to approve of what your choices are in the world, but I will love you. And I hope that's what people feel when they walk through the door. You know, people will say they walk through the door and they come through the secondary door and they feel energy in here. Some people it's a little disconcerting because it's pretty strong. That's the resonance of love that we have created here and we've set in this space. Acceptance and appreciation. That doesn't mean I'm not going to tell you my opinion or how I think things could be, but you get to choose. Let's face it, the very first gift that God gave humanity was choice. Garden of Eden. You're going to choose to do this or choose to do that. That's a choice. And it wasn't to catch us and say, "Ha, see, you screwed up." That's what I used to think. No, it was to bring us the opportunity to have choice. Now, once we have choice, we can have wisdom. Without choice, there's no wisdom. You're just a robot. So choice is a valuable tool that was given to us. And then Jesus' presence here was the gift to return us to innocence. We lost our innocence, but it's like having a little kid and a little kid defy you the first time. You can't let that go. They don't like it. "Oh, you're mean." No, there's consequences. Consequences. But we love anyway. And we're all about returning on this ascension path back to innocence. But not innocence and oblivion. Innocence with wisdom. So we're choosing a path of light, that path of uprightness. I want to walk you through a guided meditation. Oh, I need a light for me. No, I can turn this one on phone. I can. If I could not trip over all of the things that are here. But that could be funny too. I don't know why tripping is funny. Oh, that's something else. Garrett's got it. Let's take a second and just be. Be here. Be aware. In this moment, in this time and space, there's nothing you have to do. If there was something you had to do, you'd be doing it. But for now, you can just be here. Wherever you are, be present. Be awake. In that awakening moment, in the path of light. Bring your attention to your heart space. Allow your heart to feel safe, protected, loved. And now bring your attention into your mind, your awareness. allow yourself to be aware that you are more than just your physical body. You are more than the experiences you're experiencing. That you have a spark of eternal light that's been gifted to you. You are alive. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And now bring your attention to the bottoms of your feet, because your attention can move anywhere. And once your attention goes to the bottoms of your feet, there is an energy portal there that opens, and this allows you connection to the earth, and it allows you to release any burdensome energy that you might have been carrying, release it back into the earth. So you're receiving groundedness and you're releasing stress and difficulty. To assist that process, now bring your awareness back to the top of your head. Your awareness can travel anywhere. And when your awareness gets to the top of your head, an energy portal will open there. And there are many portals over the top of your head, and you will intuitively know which one today to tap into. Is it the green portal? The golden portal? The white portal? The iridescent portal? Maybe it's copper or silver. Maybe it's blue or green. Whatever you're experiencing is what is right for you in this moment. And as you tap into that, this is an access point for you to receive on a higher level divine energy. You already are receiving divine energy at all times, but this allows you to tap into it on a greater level. So allow that energy to flow down into the top of your head and into your mind. And as this touches your mind, this helps you release any sorrow or fear, sadness or loss, distress, frustration. It allows that to disconnect from your thinking and fall out the bottoms of your feet. Bringing more and more of that light energy to the energy centers above your eyebrows. This is your discernment centers. This helps you discern what's true, what's right, what's good, and what's not, what will serve you, what doesn't. And let it touch your eyes so that you can see the truth of who you really are, see the truth in your world. See God's love everywhere. And let that energy now flow into your ears and your mouth and your throat. This is your truth circuit. So you can speak your truth, you can hear truth, and even if someone else's truth doesn't align with yours, it's okay. You can let them have it. You don't have to fix it or change it. They can be where they are. Because our job is just to love and speak our truth. And now let more and more of this living light of love flow into your shoulders. We carry a ton of tension there. Might want to roll your shoulders and just release that. And as you do, the energy flows down into your arms and into your hands. And anything you choose to do becomes worthy. Spiritually worthy work. Letting more and more of this living light of love go into your heart space. Oh, doesn't that feel lovely? This is the light of enlightenment that awakens within your heart love in the highest octave. And let this living light of love push aside any sorrows, any fears or losses or distress, so that your heart feels safe. You will know intuitively who you can trust and who not to trust, so you're safe. You will be able to trust your guidance, and you'll be safe. And even if challenges come, your heart will still be safe. Let more and more of this living light of love flow through the rest of your body, down to your feet, and let it pour through you into the earth. You're a conduit of this beautiful, living light of love, in whatever flavor or color you've chosen for today. Feels good to be of service in this way. And now gently, gently, gently close the bottoms of your feet. You'll still feel a connection, but all of that energy that's drained from you cannot backwash. And now let's take a little walk in our mind's eye. We're going to find our way to the beach. Perhaps you'll notice a boardwalk from where you are, and there's a little sand hill, rise of sand, and maybe there's some grasses growing here. And walk to the boardwalk, and where it steps out onto the sand. And notice the sky is beautiful, blue. Maybe there's a cloud floating here and there. The sun is warm, just the right temperature for you. Feels pleasant, beautiful. And there's a lovely beach breeze. You remember what that feels like. You can imagine what that feels like now. Warm, moist, fresh, maybe even a tad salty. Notice that you're now barefoot and allow yourself to walk across the sand. It's not too hot. It's just this lovely warm temperature. And notice that the sand is a lighter color where it's dry, and where the surf is washing up, it's just a little darker. And as you step into that sand that has been caressed by the sea, it feels cooler to you. And allow the sand just to cool your feet as you're walking along. And now let's just stand still for a moment and let the surf wash up over your feet and ankles. And let it recede away. Letting it wash up over your feet again. And this time, as it recedes, it pulls away any additional sorrows or distress, even physical pain. And now, as it washes over you, allow it to bring you peace. And washing away any distress as it recedes. And let it wash over you one more time, and this time, allow it to bring you joy. As it pulls away anything else that is an hindrance to that joy. And now you walk along the surf. And you're going to see something in the sand that the surf has exposed for you. What do you see? Do you see a starfish, a sand dollar, or seashell? Do you see a starfish, a sand dollar, or a seashell? If you don't see anything, choose one. Starfish, sand dollar, or seashell. Whether it's by your choice or visual, either way is just fine. Now walk a little further, and you'll notice that there is something else here. Do you see sea foam, a seagull, or a piece of driftwood? What do you notice? Do you notice the sea foam? Do you notice a seagull? Or driftwood? What is catching your attention now? Whatever you see or whatever you choose has spiritual significance for you. You're going to walk a little further, and here's Jesus. He has come to visit with you. His eyes are smiling. He's happy to see you. And you are so happy to see him that you want to give him a gift. And you realize you have something here you would like to give him. Do you give him a flower? Do you give him sea glass? Or do you give him a smooth stone? Which would you give Jesus? Flower or flowers? Sea glass or a smooth stone? Whatever you choose or whatever you see has spiritual significance for you. He receives this gift from you and is honored and blessed and so grateful and so happy with your gift that he focuses on his attention on this gift and it turns into light. So if you gave a flower, it became a flower of light. If you gave sea glass, it becomes glowing light pebble. If you gave him a smooth stone, then it's a smooth stone that is now glowing. So what did you give him, and what do you receive back? The glowing flower, the glowing sea glass, or the glowing smooth stone? Whatever you give is what you receive, but now it's in a different form. And you receive it with such gratitude and gladness. And you and Jesus take a few moments and just walk along right here by the seashore, enjoying the beauty of the day, feeling safe, feeling sacred, feeling blessed. And you know that you can come back here at any time and walk with Jesus again. But for now, it's our time to return to our day-to-day. So say goodbye. Know that Jesus will walk with you even though you're not in this guided meditation. And allow yourself to find your way back to the boardwalk. Cross the boardwalk. Back into this time and space. Back into the here and now. Back into the Divine Fellowship services, whether you're at home or you're here. Might want to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. We'll do communion, and then I will give you the interpretation of your guided meditation. I'll let you be with that for just a second. So, Mr. Phil, if you would join me, please. Light. I've been enlightened.
That's all it took? It's that easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah, that's right. True. Well, you know, sometimes when the light comes on, it just comes on in a hurry, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, so I was thinking about communion
Yeah? Again?
again. And you know, when Jesus asked us to remember him, he hadn't died yet. But most churches, when you go to this part of their church, I'm going to get fired up, sorry. No, I'm so sorry. When you go to church services, that's what they want to languish over and anguish over, and how it's your fault, my fault, and how horrible it is. No. Mm-mm. No. When Jesus asked me to remember him, do this in remembrance of me, I remember that when he was born, angels sang. And they brought peace to this world on a whole nother level than we've ever experienced before. Maybe the world has not been in peace, but they brought peace to our soul. They sang peace to us. And I remember when he was a teenager, he was so fired up about talking spiritual stuff with the elders that he forgot to go home with his parents. Remember that story? Typical teenager. No, he's just fired up. They left, had to come back and get him. Where are you? I'm talking God stuff. He was that fired up. I remember that. And I remember that he said, let the little kids come to me. He cherished children. He treated them with love and honor. I remember that. That's what I'm going to remember. And I remember all of those stories that he told. Do you remember all those stories? And I remember him standing up in the face of religious hooey and telling them, hey, dudes, get real. You're burdening people unnecessarily. And I remember him healing people. That's what I'm going to remember. And I'm going to remember that when he looked at people, at a crowd of people, he had compassion in his heart. Yes, he died. Yes, he was crucified. He rose. I remember that. I remember that part of the story. I remember that he ascended. And I know he is sitting at the right hand of God, All power and authority has been gifted to him, and he loves me. And that's what I'm going to remember. You choose what you're going to remember. I'm not telling you what to do here, but this is my story. You do what you got to do. Join me in prayer. Loving Spirit of light, we remember. In the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So there.
Can you get the other one open? Okay. Would you join us in prayer again, please? Loving Spirit of light, renew within us joy, enlightenment, and spiritual sanctuary. Bless us and guide us. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen. And he sent his Holy Spirit to walk with us and help us. So there. I'm done,
Okay.
I think. And with that said, go ahead, Phil, with what you're doing. I just want to honor people who are not followers of the way. Because this church, there's people that come that are following the Buddhist way or Native American pathway or whatever. Thank you for joining us in this sacred moment. You don't have to believe what I believe. Heck, Phil and I don't even believe the same thing half the time about the way. But thank you for joining us in this sacred moment, and I hope you feel the sacredness as well, and know that we love you. I'm shutting up now.
That's what you say. Any volunteers?
Mr. Phil? Mr. Phil?
Oh, okay.
Can you move the camera, or you want to come on up here?
Nah.
Or just, okay. So it's William this time, so.
So I had to share, I feel I forgot to turn my speaker off back in the angel room when we were doing the women's lesson. He was playing the Native American music, and we were playing the East Indian music up there. And I just about floated away. Just because I enjoy the Native American and the sweat lodge, things like that too. So, and the East Indian, I've been doing the women's lesson since 2007. I've shared with many people. So, we're really grateful for letting this place go. And we've taught classes, and we've always been welcomed. And I'm truly grateful for this place. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, William. Phil's adjusting the camera.
No,
so that's why you're-
microphone.
I have a microphone, so that's why you're seeing this big blur in front of the camera, because he was standing in front of the
I guess I
camera.
could have done it from the other way. Didn't think of it.
It's so much easier to be right in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I apologize for
Since
making
we're
you cry.
doing
but I'm
everything
not
so
sorry.
different. Don't.
It was a good cry.
We're figuring everything out.
Yeah. No, we're not, but we're just going with the flow. Whatever the flow might be. Okay, so let's talk about your guided meditation, shall we? Wasn't it nice to go to the beach? Oh, man. Take me away. Calgon, whatever that is. Okay, so the first thing that you saw was your challenge right now, or could relate to your challenge right now. How many people saw the starfish? Okay, starfish. So your challenge right now is opening to healing and to a higher level of being a healer. Does that make sense to you? That totally rings true, does it not? A sand dollar. Who saw sand? Anybody see a sand dollar? Okay, this is finding your value. Knowing your worth. Knowing your sacredness. And within that, you find your own ministry. You know, Shannon, now Arcana, her ministry was doing the videotaping for us for years. Other people have found a ministry of keeping the property clear. You know, what's your ministry? It could be anything. When I was far younger, I had a ministry of I would see who in the congregation, whoever said that they were going to have surgery or were sick, I would find their addresses and I would send them a card. I didn't even have to know them. Had one lady come up to me later, she says, "Why did you send me a card? I don't even know you." And I said, "Because I wanted you to know that God loved you." And she said, "You know, even the people that I knew didn't send me a card. I was so grateful for that." So little things, a little kindness could be your ministry and could make a huge difference. Make a huge difference. Anybody see a seashell? Okay. This is opening up to your spiritual abilities. So you may have more spiritual abilities than you think you do. And this is giving you a heads up that it's time to awaken to that. It's time to step into that and find ways to utilize those. More coming on that, I feel. More coming on that, definitely. When you worked further along and you notice something else, this is your next step in that journey. How many people saw sea foam? Okay? Your next step is to breathe and be happy. See Gull. Your next step is to let love and light uplift you. Allow that. Sometimes we just so think we got to do it all on our own. Driftwood? Driftwood says, rest and relax. Rest and relax. So when you meet Jesus and you give him a gift, the gift that you give him is what you're willing to take on right now. What new thing you're willing to take on right now. How many people had a flower or flowers? Okay? You're willing to take on your own value and worth. Take it on. Take it on. In a new level, on a whole new level. Because I know you already do, but this is a whole nother level of seeing your value. Sea glass. Okay, this is the ability to shine brightly. You know, it's so much easier just to hide ourselves under a bush, under a bushel, basket, whatever. This little light of mine song as a kid, it's easy to hide or think we're hiding, but you can't not shine. You have this ability, and so this is what you're willing to do. You're willing to shine. You're willing to finally let people see you for who you really are, your authentic self. A smooth stone. Okay, so this is saying you're willing to let go of old suffering. And with that, you're willing to help others let go of their old suffering. Healing on a whole different level. So when Jesus blesses this gift and gives it back to you as light, this is the spiritual gift given to you right now. What is being gifted to you right now? How many had the flower? Okay, you're being gifted with worthy work. And I can't read my writing. Oh, and blessed service. So what you do is being blessed. The works of service are being blessed. How beautiful is that? Sea glass. You're getting renewed visions and insights. She went like this. You knew that, right? Yep. And a smooth stone. This healing energy is being amplified for yourself and others. Do you have a sense of that? Beautiful. There's more things coming, and I feel like some new techniques are coming for us to utilize. I don't have more data on that at this point in time, but boy howdy. I think it's time to fasten our spiritual seatbelts. Don't you think? So, one last thing before we do an energy thing. we're having Thanksgiving here at 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. If we have enough people sign up for it. So far, we've only had like one person, and they are not even sure. So if you want to come to Thanksgiving, it will be deli style, so everything will be wrapped in separate things, so it will be safe. We'll spread people out. We usually cram people in our fellowship hall, and we're not going to do that this year. We're going to keep people spread out a bit. So everything should be safe and good. So if you're interested in Thanksgiving, it's really important for you to let me know. Mary Lou, what do we do with your? If you want to if you can't sign up here, if you're online, but you might come to lunch, let Mary Lou know. Her email address is GA8TORAID, Gatorade, 63 at Gmail. So let her know you're coming. Otherwise, would you sign up on the sign up sheet? I'm going to send that around. If you would be so kind as to. And if we don't have the interest, we won't do it. We'll just do that another time. So, yes, ma'am.
Can we donate towards it?
If you'd like, sure. Sure. I think the only thing we're lacking for that dinner is dessert. But if you're talking
I'm
about
not coming.
foods. Well, I think Costco run will be, they have the best pumpkin pie, apple pie.
Oh, apple pie, oh.
I made a gluten-free apple thingy the other day, and it was pretty good too.
To die for.
So, no, don't die for that. So let's do an energy circle or an energy circuit for the people online, and hopefully we can log off successfully and save this for later. But anyway, bringing that bright, fresh energy in, you're still connected, bring it into your heart space. From your heart space to your left hand to right hand, and back to your heart, and that completes this energy circuit. And as that energy circuit is completed, then the energy builds between your hands. Whew, I don't know about yours, but my hands are tingling. Anybody else got tinglies? Yep. There's lots of tinglies here today. Hope you can feel that at home. This is energy. This is that living light of love that we are connected to. And we have a right to. And that we are being blessed with. Bring that energy into your heart space. Let it feed your soul. Let it bless you. Until we meet again. God bless. And now to figure out how to end. Okay. Says live video is starting. I don't know how to end it and save it. Okay, in the meantime, while I'm figuring this out, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, let's circle up for our energy circle.
Anybody know how to use Facebook on, okay, you got help coming. Yeah, we're used to using it on every other format, but we don't know how to do it on PC.
Oh, oneness blessing after services in the back room.
Oh, wait.
Be there or be square.
Thank you, dear.
We're going to do the calling all angels. Okay?
Oh, wow. You also could just press exit. I'm used to doing phone too, so.
What was it?
You also could just do, just exit on it and it would just shut it off too. Or you
And
just
it'll
sign
still
up.
save?
Yeah. Oh, save. I don't know about that. Shoot.
Well, let's see.
You could put on pause.
Can we pause it? How do you pause it?
You should be able to. I've never seen it like this before.
I'm going to turn the